Hi guys, I'm Kendall Hoeft. I'm a life coach and inspirational speaker. And today I'm going to be talking about relationships. Now, you might have thought I was going to be talking about romantic relationships, but actually I'm talking about relationships in general. So I am a kind of person that you might describe as larger than life. And part of me is saddened by that because life is actually so big and bold and beautiful and expansive. And so for someone to say that I am larger than life, that actually tells me what their life looks like and maybe the closed off perspective that they have about what life actually has to offer. So anyway, just a little insight into that phrase. But for so much of my life, I have held back parts of who I was in order to, hi Kelly, hi Catherine, in order to gain acceptance. Because I so desperately wanted these relationships, I suppressed my feelings and I tried to ignore what I felt and who I was because I believed that they could not handle who I was, and they could not handle the expression of feelings. And friends, this wasn't all just in my head. Some of these people legitimately could not handle me. They really could not deal with the level of transparency and honesty and expression that I bring to the table. Hi, I'm hot. Good to see you. And so, you see yourself suppressing your feelings, you find yourself living small in order to gain acceptance, in order to gain approval. And I'm here to tell you that if you have to play small or not be full in your expression or not be 100% who you are, then what's the point of that relationship? Like if I can't really be and be accepted for who I really am, so if you're just accepting a version of me that suits your liking, that lines up with your expectations, like to me, I'm just not into that anymore. Like I want to be with people who celebrate me and who accept me. And I want you guys to have this same freedom. And it starts with a self-acceptance that you know you're okay with or without that other person's approval. Like, yes, we need community and yes, we need tribe, but I'm for having a community and a tribe that also accepts you, that also celebrates you, and that you don't have to be anybody but who you really are in that moment. Not the perfect Christian or the high achieving business person, or not when you've arrived, because a little secret, you're never going to arrive. You're never going to have life settled. You're never going to have it all together. And so if you can accept yourself right now, right where you are today, before the six-figure, salary that you think you want to earn someday, before the perfect husband, before whatever, having a relationship with yourself of deep acceptance and rejecting that shame that causes you to want to apologize for having feelings. Saying, oh, you may not understand, but, or I know this is a lot, but, or sorry, I don't want to burden you, or I know this is weird. Stop apologizing for who you are, guys. Accept God's love for you. Accept your own love for yourself. So anyway, I just wanted to get that message out to you and tell you, be in the world and show up in the world honestly and completely. You don't really know who your friends are. The people that accept you if you're living according to their standards. The people that accept you if you don't admit you voted for Donald Trump. The people accept you that they don't know you wear cornrows, or that you dance in the park, or that you talk to homeless people, or that you, yes, not being ashamed of who you are. And the amount that you're able to open up and be vulnerable and be real, that's in direct proportion to the quality and the realness of the value of good friendships. So it's like if I only, open up this much and I'm only really this honest, my friends, it's kind of this like, there's maybe some shadedness and some hiding and some embarrassment and some sense of unknown. But if I'm able to be who I am and show up as the presence that I authentically am, in freedom, in bravery, in courage, in expression, in joy, in inner child happiness, and all of the things that I am, all of the things that you are, and someone rejects you, that's a blessing, because you don't want someone like that in your life. You don't want someone that can't accept you, that can't celebrate you. Maybe they don't understand you, but do they love you? And can they accept you for you apart from your do? Do you see the difference? We are not what we do. We are who we are. We are human beings, not human doings. And yet so much of the time we focus on the doing, on the achieving, on the works, on the being a good little girl, on the making everybody proud, on the weight on our shoulders, the burdens we carry, on living on a pedestal and being a good representation to the world and being responsible and all of that crud. I call it crud because it did not have a good effect on me, because frankly it was too much. It led to perfectionism. It led to control issues. It led to a workaholism. It led to a sense that I couldn't just be. I couldn't just be at rest. I had to do. And frankly, I could never do enough, because there wasn't a deep sense of love and acceptance for who I was, and even celebration where I was willing to share who I truly was with the world. Like, I wasn't okay with myself. And so I was doing, trying to prove that I was valuable, trying to prove that I was worthy. And I had people in my life who frankly did not celebrate me for who I truly was. They told me I was too sensitive. They told me I was too much. They told me I needed to tone it down. They told me that I couldn't dance in public. They told me that who I was wasn't acceptable, and all of that crap. And so when you become an adult, you have the ability to go back into your childhood and to speak to your inner child, to speak to the little girl who tried to dance and was told no. To go back and to be that reassuring adult and that reassuring sense of support that you needed as a child and you did not receive. And validate yourself. And say affirmations. I love who I am. I celebrate my expression. I love that I'm full of joy. I celebrate that I'm zany. I accept that I love to dance all the time in public. I love that I call my cats my babies, and I have no shame about that. I have no shame that I voted for Donald Trump and that I have my own wise thinking about that perspective. And at the same time, I don't judge another's perspective. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, being who you be and being okay with yourself and accepting yourself right now. Not when you're there yet. Not when there's never a there yet. So, what about relationships that genuinely, sometimes we have the fear in our heads. If I'm truly myself, someone won't accept me. And sometimes that's in our heads. And sometimes they actually want the opportunity to accept you. Sometimes that other person actually wants the opportunity to know you and be known by you and have intimacy. But sometimes, you're right, they actually can't handle the truth. They can't deal with your full expression. So in that case, you have two options. Because, I mean, as far as friendships, it's just, to me, in my life, it's just over at that point. I mean, I don't have space for lack of acceptance or celebration of who I am. So to me, there's no point in continuing that relationship at all. And you can explain why in a nice way. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, I'm going to express my feelings. That's a non-negotiable. If I'm hurt or upset, I'm going to communicate that. I'll do it lovingly, I'll do it gently, I'll do it kindly, but that's at the core of who I am, is the honesty of expression. So friendships go, as far as friendships or romantic relationships goes, that's a bye-bye. Where it gets tricky and entangled is family. We have a lot of people that we love and that are part of that family. In my life, family is a very high value. And not that I'm willing to compromise my soul or to not be supported, but what I did with family is I communicated to the family member that said action, maybe criticism of who I was or my choices or my actions or how I showed up in the world was hurting our relationship. It wasn't making me feel supported or accepted. It was making me feel like I needed to suppress or that I wasn't free to talk openly or honestly. And giving them an opportunity to basically give me love in a way that I can understand, in a way that I can receive. So I gave them the opportunities, and some of them up to 6 times. I tried to give opportunity for them to meet me where I needed to be met in order to feel love. And then, so maybe you'll know the person in your family. You'll know that they may or may not be able to handle that. I gave it a chance with even the most difficult. And I'm glad that I did that, because then I can feel at peace like I tried. I gave them a chance. I didn't just distance myself and shut them out of my life. I tried to work with them, and actually some progress was made there. But maybe they only can come so far, and they can only offer you so much. Maybe they can apologize for the past, but they're having a really hard time changing their behavior or their words in the present and in the future. And so at that point, I just have to make a decision boundary-wise how much time I'm able to healthily spend with them. And so you can limit the amount of time that you spend with them. And again, no shame living. There is no obligation to show up for Easter. There is no obligation to show up for family dinner. There is no obligation to call. There is zero obligation. Because that's not love. Guilt and obligation and shame and embarrassment, that's not love. Love is freedom. Love is joyful giving, and commitment as well. But there's a balance in that. And so anyway, I just wanted to encourage you, develop a tribe of people that can celebrate you and accept you at your core. People that you can be a fool. You can be fun and silly. You can be fully yourself, or whatever that looks like for you. Hi, William. Maybe you want to ask a ton of questions. Maybe you're really, really curious. Maybe people in your past have said, why are you asking? Or, they've given you crap about asking. See, you need to be with someone who's willing to be probed, who's willing to go further into the research and into the investigation and into the curiosity. My best friend, Sam, is like this. She loves to ask questions, and I totally celebrate that about her. I see that as, she's gotten a lot of amazing information because she loves to research, and it's so cool. And I'm not threatened by her questions. I'm excited by them. I see that as an opportunity for me to self-inspect and for me to develop more knowledge and more awareness about who I am and about who we are together and about what friendship is and about intimacy and soul connection in relationships. And so it's all good. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I'm Kendall Hoeft. I'm a life coach and inspirational speaker. If you're watching on YouTube right now, I invite you to subscribe to my channel for more videos, and feel free to like or share this video out or comment. I love to interact with you guys on here. So I hope you have a great week. Hope and freedom. Bye.